I am so excited. So if you've been in my studio in the last couple months, then you know the secret. But if you haven't, I'm super stoked to share. So I just went and signed a lease on a brand new studio, and it is literally 2.5 times bigger than the current studio. It's a shelf space right now. It was a 20-year business beforehand. Think 20-foot cathedral ceilings. For one, we've got brick walls. It's right on Main Street. We have got more windows, more natural lighting, bigger closet space area. I am going to have a clawfoot tub installed with working water. So we'll have like soapy bathtub sessions available. And it's mine. So I'm so excited. Move-in date is scheduled for October 1st. Like I said, it's a shell space, so I went and picked out brand new flooring. It's like this light oak color. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's so pretty. We're doing black satin walls, and then I'm going to have the same furniture, of course, but like also creating so many new sets. I'm also going to be offering lots more branding sessions, kiddo sessions, family sessions inside. I'm excited to work with the events that we have going on downtown all the time. Cottage Grove downtown does like art walk every other Friday, I believe, or like one Friday a month. I can't remember exactly what the schedule is. There's also like a downtown Halloween event, a Christmas event. Like, I'm so excited to be so immersed in the downtown like environment. But not only that, we just have so much space. So I am so excited. I've been telling everybody, but today's the official day. I just signed the lease, and yeah, move-in date. I gotta pick everything out. Like, when I tell you, if you want something and I did my makeup, so we're not crying. When you want something and you really think about it, you dream about it. My first studio, I'll just kind of give you guys a little story time here. So I really dove into boudoir full time after having one of my own sessions, and I was just amazed. Like, I'd only ever done boudoir weekends prior to that, and I went into my friend's studio, shout out to Kelly with Ember Bliss, and she did my boudoir session, and I was just like, this is amazing. Like, I wanted to do that. I wanted to dive into that, and she kind of helped me like kick off like doing, and kind of believed in me that like, hey, you can do this full time, because I had no idea. I had just kind of started to figure out like that like boudoir could be a full day experience. You could really like spend time with one client and get to know them. And then like I did that session with her, and I was like, yep, this is what I want to do. And so I built a little studio in the upstairs of our home, and it was about 200 square feet. And so I had clients coming to my house, and, you know, it was working, but I was also dealing with my dogs that like to bark. I was trying to make sure that my house was absolutely perfect. Like, there's obviously kids' toys everywhere. I had pets. Like, it just wasn't what I wanted. But I am one person that's very, very afraid of change. I don't like change. So I hold on to things even when I'm ready to outgrow them, you know? And, listen, I like how my makeup looks, so we're just gonna try to hold it in, but I'm also a very emotional person. So we decided to sell our house. We wanted to build a house on family property that we have, and so we sold our home in 2023, I believe. And there was a couple different spaces I was looking at in town, but I had never ever commercially rented a space, and truly I hadn't really upped my pricing to where I could really afford to rent a space. And I called this building owner who I talked to previously, and he had his building up for sale. And he was like, it's probably too big for you, you know, but I'll show it to you. And we went and looked, and he wanted, you know, to show me the one side that hadn't been built out previously. The other side had been built out as a clothing boutique. So there was lighting installed, the chandelier, like kind of like office lighting. It was brand new building. There was dressing rooms already, like all the things. And I was like, no, I want that space. And he's like, well, it seems like you really want that space. And I was like, yeah, that's literally perfect for me. And the story, like, I think I'll tell this for the rest of my life, because it's just, this doesn't happen anymore, I feel like. But he handed me the keys, and he was like, here you go. Here's all the sets of keys. You have a month to get it ready, and then you can send me first month's rent next month. And so I was super duper stoked because that doesn't happen in 2026, right? So that's how I got into my first studio that I'm in right now. Well, fast forward, it's been a little over 2 years, and the building is now up for sale again. When I moved in, there was one tenant upstairs, so it's residential upstairs. There's 2 apartments, and then it's commercial on the bottom. So I had one neighbor on the upstairs opposite of me, and now it's fully built out. There's a like doctor's office next door to me, and then there is really awesome tenants above me, but the building is up for sale again. And I don't, once again, like uncertainty. I guess the moral of the story is I wait until I'm kind of pushed out of a situation to actually change the situation. But I had been looking at spaces, and everything was just way out of my budget, what I felt comfortable spending as an overhead, because photography is such a kind of a flexible thing. Like, we have all been through, you know, like COVID and all that stuff, and it's like that you learned what was essential and non-essential when the world decides to stop working. And it scared me to take on such a high overhead rent, even though I'm doing so much better in my business. So everywhere I'd been looking, like I just went and looked at a space that was like in Springfield. I'm in Cottage Grove, so that's like a 20-30 minute drive from me. I love just going down to the studio, making videos, and like, you know, just getting to go in and create. So I like having it in my town. It works for me. And I looked at this space, thought it was perfect. It was like an antique and a historical house that was changed into a commercial space, and it had like a full front yard, backyard right off of Main Street in Springfield. But they wanted $4,000 a month for it, and that just kind of made me nervous to have that as like a monthly overhead cost, especially if things just kind of took a dive and dipped down. And so I was like, well, the right space will come up. And this space that I just signed a lease on, sorry, this is a longer video, guys. If you watch the whole thing, like, I just like to kind of give insight of, you know, my story. But this space I'd looked at in November, because where I'm at currently, if you've been in the studio lately, like, things are just like bursting out of all the seams. I have tons of lingerie, tons of dresses, tons of props, and like no room, no storage for any of it. And my creativity's kind of been stalled because I kind of have just moved the bed and the couches in every direction they could possibly be, and I want more space. I want more freedom to create cool shit. So I'm very excited to have the space. But the neighboring space to this one I'd looked at last winter, and I ended up backing out of it. It needed a ton of work. It would have been on me to do the work, and they were tearing out our main street, and so it was like supposed to be like an 18-month project with construction, and it really was. It was about 12 months, but it was like super loud construction. Parking was a mess. Like, I just didn't want that experience for my clients, and so I actually decided not to sign the lease on that. Well, the space next door popped up, and she called me, the owner, and she was like, if you're still interested in this, like, this is going up for lease. I'd reached out about it because I told her there was like a for lease sign in that side, and they had different plans for it. Like, it was not a thought in my mind, but she reached out and was like, hey, if you want this space, like, it's coming up for rent, like, I think you'd be perfect for it. And I know we talked before, and we had a lease, and like, we kind of walked away from it and all the things. And so it just kind of once again happened. And so like, it's really exciting to me that like, you want something and you work for it and you just know it's gonna happen, like, it will just happen. So any, you know, dreams you're trying to achieve, keep on working towards them, and they're gonna come true. Like, if I didn't have all these opportunities, you know, present themselves, and I wasn't willing to kind of push myself to accept them, then I wouldn't get where I was at today. And I'm so excited for the future. I'm so excited for what's to come. I'm gonna post some pictures of what it looks like now, and then of course when we move in, I'm just so excited. We had anticipated a September move-in date, but I have so many sessions booked for September that I was like not going to try to reschedule all of you guys. And October, I have about a 2-week gap that I think we can pull it off. So everybody going forward from October forward, unless you're like the first, I think I have first, second, third of October booked, you guys are going to be in the studio. Now, if you want to push your session out and be in the new studio, we can readjust payment plans, you know, whatever. Maybe the new studio is going to be flipping amazing. If you want to be in this space that I have now, I do have availability this summer. I didn't previously. I was supposed to go to Alaska. We're not going to Alaska. My husband is doing his excavation company full time. If you know of anybody with property that needs help or is going to build a house, like, keep us in mind, because we do have that side of our business going. Lots of fun stuff happening with the Purdy family. But yes, this is going to be a change coming up in October. So if you want to be in the new studio, please send me an email. Let me know. Like I said, we can readjust you for like November, December kind of timeline. I've got quite a bit of availability then. Everything will be set up. It'll be perfect. And if you have a session booked out a little bit further and you have the means to get your collection paid off sooner and you want to come in this summer and be in the current space with the current sets that I have, let me know. Of course, I'm going to move that furniture over, but things are going to look a little bit different. I'm going from 10-foot ceilings to 20-foot ceilings. I'm going from all drywall to some brick wall. I'm going from real dark and moody with no windows to quite a few mood. It's still gonna be moody, but you know, getting a little bit more natural light in there. There's gonna be the tub. Like, there's just all these options that are coming with the new studio. I'm so freaking excited for. Like, you guys, my ideas. I'm brainstorming a piano. I'm brainstorming a pool table. I'm brainstorming so many things. I want to do like a Western set. I want to do, of course, the pinup. I wanted to bring 70s full time. Like, I have so many ideas and so much space to execute. It's gonna be freaking incredible. So that's my big update. Sorry, this is a 12-minute video. I kind of rambled a little bit there, kind of shared some stuff, but I'm excited. I have waited because I've also been let down several times, you know, with buildings, buying houses, whatnot. I've had a whole house packed up before and the house couldn't be sold, and that was rough. So I always wait, although I've been telling everyone at the coffee shop, everybody I run into, like everybody, that I'm getting this space, because I knew I was getting this space, but of course I wanted to wait till I had the paperwork to officially announce it. So yeah, super stoked. All right, let me know if you need to change anything with your session or if you're happy to stay put where you are. If you have a September date and you want to be in the new studio, if I magically got you guys all moved out a little bit further, then I could potentially move in sooner. But I was not going to go and try and move everybody in September because it's very packed. So yeah, we can move you up to the new studio, or we can move you out. Or we can move you up to be in the current studio, or we can move you out to be in the new studio. I have flexibility in November, flexibility in December, and January, like, and I also have flexibility in August. We're taking a week off, going on a family vacay to Silverwood in Idaho. Very excited for that. That was the deciding factor, and I think we're gonna have the cousins come, my sister-in-law come, and it's gonna be super fun. So yeah, keep dreaming. Dreams will come true when you keep on dreaming and you just keep on knowing it's gonna happen. That's my advice for you today. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Yeah. Bye. I love you guys.